I'm blown away that this is a film made in 1968. Yeah. I'm just blown away. Oh! This has gone very weird. Today is going to be a long-winded day because we're watching 2001: A Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal. So, we've watched the one Kubrick film already. We watched The Shining, didn't we?
Yes.
And I know people always talk about this in terms of cinema at its peak, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, why? I know it's about, I think, a robot that goes on a rampage and starts to try and kill the protagonist.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a U, though. I didn't think there would be any conflict in this because it's a U rating.
Well, I've seen a Simpsons episode that parodies it, so maybe it's just a parody and it doesn't actually happen. But I'm sure this I is like the robot and it's called Hal and it tries to kill people.
I have no knowledge of this film whatsoever. I haven't seen any other Stanley Kubrick films except for The Shining. I've seen a few clips of this in terms of like how they did certain effects and stuff like that, which I'm always interested, but so I don't know what the story is.
1968. It's a
68.
1968. Really,
oh God.
Really young. Really old film, I should say. But
really.
In terms of sci-fi, it's up there with... That's why people have voted for it, I guess. They think it's one of the best sci-fi films ever made.
Yeah.
And it's set in 2001. So 19 years ago. Almost 20 years ago it's set.
I don't know if there's going to be a strong narrative or is it just going to be a strong concept.
I think it's going to be more kind
ideas.
I think it's going to be philosophical. I think it's going to be, what would you call it, like aesthetically pleasing for the time period. The thing about Kubrick, though, when we watched The Shining, is that he does work at that film, The Shining, worked at a slow pace, but it was still a tension and suspense.
And it was very
tense and suspenseful.
It was very meticulous directing as well. You see things in the background appear, disappear purposefully.
He got the performances out of his characters really well, didn't he? So maybe hopefully he does the same. 2001:
A Space Odyssey. Let's see if this lives up to the hype, the expectations, and the iconicness, if that's a word, surrounding the making of this film. Is this why the film is 2 hours 25 minutes? Got an hour of this. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to just emulate the vastness and darkness of space.
The emptiness.
The dawn of man. Now look at us in 2020. Buy toilet paper quickly!
Wonder where this is.
It's Earth, mate.
In real life.
Yeah, Earth.
Oh man, there's no dealing with you.
Tom in his natural habitat. Whoa!
It's another band of...
It's the Shawn clan. And that is how war was born.
It's a football match, isn't it? Oh jeez!
Higher beings.
Why would they make a black rectangle and put it in the...
I don't think it's just a black rectangle. That's what you're like with the dishes. Is it saying that this is the dawn of man, this moment?
Yeah, it must be.
The fascination and
the intelligence. Do they get?
Realization and maybe it's mankind in the future. Maybe there's time travel in this.
Everything's time travel, Sean.
Is he first discovering a tool?
Oh, yeah.
The score kind of makes it seem like he's got an idea.
Yeah.
Dun dun, like a realization.
A weapon.
Cuts to a drummer. Oh, they've got weapons now in this confrontation that they didn't have before.
Yeah.
He's almost standing on two legs as well. Like, look, they weren't doing that before. They were all on all fours. Ah!
Over the course of the film, we see them change into just regular people. That's so cool, isn't it?
Pretty cool.
That's a great idea. They hadn't even been to the moon when this film came out.
Yeah.
But obviously they knew they were planning to.
Until this movie came out, they didn't realise they could fake it. So that, I know how they did that. It's stuck on a clear piece of glass, which they're turning.
Really?
Yeah. Just like the clearest glass. Gravity boots. Grip shoes.
Not quite as good as gravity boots.
So that's on a piece of glass and she just takes it off the glass. It's incredible. Like, so awesome how they can just figure out ways and how to do things before CGI came about.
Dude, that's insane special effects.
The Death Star. What does the music make you feel, Tom? Elegant.
Elegance, yeah.
It's almost like a dance. The budget they must have had on this.
State in the following order: your destination, your nationality, and your full name.
Moon, American, Floyd, Haywood R.
I can make a couple of phone calls. You go on ahead in the restaurant. I'll meet you there.
Right.
Wait, where's his mobile?
iPhone came out in 2001, didn't it? The first iPhone.
Did it?
I don't know, I think so.
I'm just on my way up to Clavius.
Perhaps you can clear up the great big mystery about what has been going on up there. Well, for one thing, whenever you phone the base, all you can get is a recording which repeats that the phone lines are temporarily out of order.
2 days ago, one of our rocket buses was denied permission for emergency landing at Clavius.
Aliens, I'm calling it. There'll be a comment saying, "We never went to the moon, you f***ing morons, you both!" It's too clean. It's hurting my eyes. The use of red as well. Why the use of red? You need to ask these questions, especially with Kubrick. There's a purpose to everything.
Well, he always uses weird colours on or he did in Shining, didn't he?
If I got told to put on that hat, I'd be like, off. But I'm not putting that ridiculous thing on my head.
That hat, man.
They're grip shoes, but what if they accidentally trip? They just float up to the ceiling.
That's still a better walk than RoboCop.
Oh, this is cool. This is cool.
How do they do that?
Takes a while though.
Invisible wires.
It would be like Inception, where they rotate the set, but they keep the camera as where it is. 0 gravity.
12 instructions for a 0 gravity.
It's just all on the ceiling.
That Daddy Daycare scene where it's like,
very similar to the actual moon landing, isn't it?
apart from nothing like it. They're crashing! Look at that shot.
It's incredible, the shots. It's just art.
Do you think so far that like the music and the aesthetics, it's more so like a almost love letter to the idea of what it could be like in the future?
Yeah.
So it's more so optimistic.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why at the beginning of this, before we watched this, I was thinking, is it more of a concept and idea, showing a concept and an idea rather than a narrative?
Dr. Floyd?
Congratulations on your discovery, which may well prove to be among the most significant in the history of science.
Thank you, Dr. Floyd.
Thank you.
This is why you're not in meetings. You would not think this film came out in 1968. We will eventually get that to this point, won't we?
Yeah.
Which would, it's just insane.
But it'll be private companies that will charge millions of pounds, like Elon Musk.
Yeah. Well, Elon Musk wants to make it affordable.
Not even a big nickel iron meteorite could produce a field as intense as this.
We thought it might be the upper part of some buried structure, so we excavated out on all sides, but unfortunately we didn't find anything else.
It hasn't been covered up by natural erosion or other forces. It seems to have been deliberately buried.
I suppose you have any idea what the damn thing is?
Santa Claus.
Wish the hell we did. No, the only thing we're sure of is it was buried 4 million years ago.
The absence of sound, that's quite a modern concept to put into films in space, isn't it? But he's already done it here.
I mean, absence of sound by using sound, like getting the feeling of absence. Are they going to discover one of those things that we saw at the beginning?
Like rectangles.
Yeah. But this time it's a triangle. Not a triangle! He must storyboard every shot to get across his...
This film would have been planned down to like...
the T.
There it is!
Oh yeah, it is that thing. So you're getting the juxtaposition of how we reacted at the dawn of man to the pinnacle of man, almost.
But it's still the same sense of uncanny
curiosity, thought-provoking, but in a less chaotic way, maybe.
I love how this camera's going along with them in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's handheld, this camera. Explodes.
Oh, they don't. Is it coming from there?
I don't know, I think it might be.
18 months later.
Anal bead ship. That's what they should call that ship, anal bead.
I heard you the first time.
Anal bead.
You see a TIE fighter like...
This is the famous shot, isn't it?
Wow.
Is that how?
This is the thing that I have heard about or see parodied, this robot.
It's so cool. Especially for a 60s film. Everyone would have been like...
People would have been like,
what? They would have, their minds would have been blown.
3 weeks ago, the American spacecraft Discovery 1 left on its half-billion-mile voyage to Jupiter.
The crew of Discovery 1 consists of 5 men and one of the latest generation of the HAL 9000 computers. 3 of the 5 men were put aboard in a state of hibernation, the HAL 9000 computer, which can reproduce most of the activities of the human brain, and with incalculably greater speed and reliability.
So it's intelligent.
We next spoke
AI.
No 9000 computer has ever made a mistake or distorted information. We are all, by any practical definition of the words, foolproof and incapable of error.
They must be going to Jupiter because they found a signal or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Playing chess with a computer.
Thank you for a very enjoyable game.
Yeah, thank you.
The thing is, a computer can calculate every option at once, so it's like impossible.
During the past few weeks, I've wondered whether you might be having some second thoughts about the mission. I know I've never completely freed myself of the suspicion that there are some extremely odd things about this mission. Rumors about something being dug up on the moon, the way all our preparations were kept under such tight security, and the melodramatic touch of putting Doctors Hunter, Kimball, and Kaminsky aboard, already in hibernation after 4 months of separate training on their own. I've just picked up a fault in the AE-35 unit. It's going to go 100% failure within 72 hours.
Jeez. Whoa.
Yeah, they're not spinning.
Yeah.
It's the forefront that's spinning. I couldn't do that. I couldn't have it in complete silence with just my breath. I would have some music on. I'd have a little bit of music.
You mean if you were in that situation?
Yeah.
I thought you meant if you made the film.
Oh, no. That's so cool. Jesus. How did they do that?
Looks terrified. No wonder you'd start regretting it.
It's almost relaxing because you've got the white noise that puts you to sleep, and you've got the breathing that makes it feel like it's your breathing.
Well, hell, I'm damned if I can find anything wrong with it.
It's puzzling. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this before.
You're lying.
I would recommend that we put the unit back in operation and let it fail. It should then be a simple matter to track down the cause. We can certainly afford to be out of communication for the short time it will take to replace
This freaks me out. Was he testing whether or not he could lie to him or something?
Our preliminary findings indicate that your onboard 90000 computer is in error predicting the fault. This conclusion is based on the results from our twin 90000 computer.
How would you account for this discrepancy between you and the twin 9000?
It can only be attributable to human error. This sort of thing has cropped up before.
I'm having a bit of trouble with my transmitter and C-pod. I wonder if you'd come down and take a look at it with me. I don't think he can hear us.
Yeah, but I'm sure it could like lip read or something.
Let's say we put the unit back and it doesn't fail, huh? That would pretty well wrap it up as far as Hal is concerned, wouldn't it? There isn't a single aspect of ship operations that's not under his control. If he were proven to be malfunctioning, I wouldn't see how we'd have any choice but disconnection.
Well, I'm not so sure what he'd think about it.
Ah, I told ya.
Is there something like a metaphor here? Because I keep thinking about the two groups of the monkeys, and one getting smarter than the other and overcoming them and killing that other monkey. And this is very similar.
Like the AI is overtaking mankind.
Yeah,
maybe
it's the dawn of AI rather than the dawn of man.
I'm thinking it's going to try and kill him or something, but why would it? Because
what's its motive?
Then it would be doomed to drift on south, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a frog. Why is that turning? Didn't turn last time. Did it? Oh,
what the hell?
Something's gonna happen.
Oh!
Oh, it unhooked
The silence.
Do you know what happened?
I'm sorry, Dave. I don't have enough information.
Don't have enough information.
Well, look how far away
he's
he
dead.
is.
He's dead. He's dead.
It's almost like he's playing and testing to see what he can do.
Yeah, because he could easily just turn off everything, couldn't he?
Yeah.
And be done with it.
There he is.
Yeah. Go, 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 go. Is there no turbo on this thing? I'm really intrigued in how they do these types of shots. Is he on wires? I'm assuming so. How's gonna kill him? I knew it.
Well, they're all just gonna die.
Yeah, and then it would just be that one guy left.
But why?
Open the pod bay doors, please, Hal.
Hello, Hal, do you read me? You read me, Hal? Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me. And I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen. This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
Is it a being trying to protect its own life, or is it the programming for the mission that is following? Or what?
Yeah.
He's dead, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just letting him go. I'm blown away that this is a film made in 1968. I'm just blown away. I don't know whether it is a computer just thinking about the mission, because why would he just kill those other 3 people?
He's going to grab his helmet with this. Oh, can you get out into the...
Potentially. Don't know if it connects though. Don't think it does connect. He's just going to have to f***ing leg it in.
Maybe the vacuum will suck him out. Ah! Yeah. No!
Just what do you think you're doing, Dave? I know everything hasn't been quite right with me. I feel much better now.
No, shut him off.
Get him off.
Dave. Stop. I'm afraid. My mind is going. I can feel it. I can feel it.
So eerie, the voice.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I am a HAL 9000 computer.
My instructor was Mr. Langley, and he taught me to sing a song.
I'd like to hear it, Hal.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do.
No thanks. Stop singing.
I'm half crazy.
I'm half crazy.
All for the love of you.
Good day, gentlemen. This is a pre-recorded briefing. 18 months ago, the first evidence of intelligent life off the Earth was discovered. It was buried 40 feet below the lunar surface. Except for a single radio emission aimed at Jupiter, the 4-million-year-old black monolith has remained completely inert. Its origin and purpose still a total mystery.
And beyond the infinite. It's that thing that was buried, isn't it? It's another one. What the hell? Get it? What the hell? Beyond the infinite would be like a wormhole? Time travel? Or is that just floating in space though? And does he see it?
And is there a lot of them?
Is that where the signal was coming from or going to?
What can he possibly do? Everybody's dead.
What even is their purpose? What's the mission?
Track down a signal maybe or something?
That has to mean something, how it's in between all of those planets aligned. You know, if I saw that and I was in this position, I wouldn't be scared. I'd be like, no person has gone this far before. This is incredible. I don't even care if I die. That's all done practically, by the way. And this is the shot that I said at the beginning that I would love to replicate. Is it a wormhole?
Yeah, like the Big Bang.
Jesus. Looks like an eye as well.
It's like the start of the universe or something.
We don't even know where he went. Like, did he touch it? Or is it him laying eyes on it for the first time? Is it making it that sound and it's making him see these things? It looks weird, it looks like an egg. All this imagery, man, it's basically just art.
Well.
What the hell?
Well, it was the 60s, man.
Everyone just doing drugs.
It looks like a planet.
Yeah, there's so much experimentation in this imagery. It's just like, go and film the ocean and mess with the colours. I wonder what his meaning is from behind all of this, because it's obviously important. It's all about the eye. You know, Hal's eye, now his eye.
Yeah,
loads of focus on it. He's just gone through a massive trip.
What the hell?
Is that a monkey inside of that? I don't know.
Him.
Same, yeah.
He's old.
Yeah. This has gone very weird.
Is it another type of mankind?
Is it a vision? Are the aliens showing him something?
Or is he dead?
Is that him even older? Is that him?
No. Is it?
Reminds me of him.
It is him?
Yeah.
How long has he been there?
Yeah, because now we're not seeing him in the suit. No, I think it might still be on the ship because the floor is like what the ship was. Yeah, I think he's slowly going insane and slowly dying on the ship. The f*** is that? What's that? Oh, it's him. As a fetus. Is he now one with the universe?
Woo! That was a journey. I really liked this film, and I like the insane amount of philosophical interpretations that you can pull from it. So
yeah.
But overall, really good. I'm going to give it a 9.2. That is an amazing score.
Yeah.
That is an absolutely amazing score. Because me and Sean are under the impression that there's no film's really a 10 out of 10, but that is one of the highest ratings I've given for a film. And I think it's absolutely awesome.
I was thinking, do I rate this on whether I would watch it again? Because all the films that I've rated a 9 or above are films that I would watch 100% again. This is one of those films where I could watch again, but I'm not like, I'd love to watch again.
But rating it on like the craft.
Yeah. So, but I'm still going to rate it a 9 out of 10. Wouldn't rush to watch it again, but still, craftsmanship, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant film. Where do we begin?
Let's begin with just the craft of the film. The insane level of detail that went into, obviously, the sets and the design of this film.
Brilliant.
I'm thinking of miniatures.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of just special effects that we've explained some of them, but some of them I've just got no idea of how they did in this time period. In 1968, before man even landed on the moon.
Yeah.
They made this film. I just can't believe it.
Yeah, that's mind blowing.
I could mistake this for a film in the 80s, film in the 90s.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, easily.
Even
ahead of its time. Composition, filmmaking, set building, the use of colours, just phenomenal. Like all around, the directing is incredible.
But what about the just cinematography in general in terms of all of those symmetrical shots? And they're shots that kind of linger, but not without purpose. They're there for tonal. They're there for wonder. It's awe. That's the emotion I'm looking for.
Awe,
it inspires awe within the audience.
Wonder and awe.
And that's the design. That's the notion of space in general, isn't it? Just as a concept to a lot of people, it represents awe and wonder and something that is almost
thought-provoking.
Almost cannot or should not be explained to primitive minds like humans.
Yeah.
But
and I can kind of compare this movie to literally looking at a piece of, like a painting, like a piece of artwork, and trying to interpret it from what you see. And it's weird, actually. I'm just thinking, like with the shots on Earth and the landscaping, it's very much not symmetrical, and it's very much rough and messy.
But
when you get into space, it's very symmetrical.
This whole film is about progression and evolution and moving forwards. There are certain things in this film that I would cut down, but if I wanted more time with the characters on the actual ship with Hal as well. Yeah. I actually would want a bit more. I wish I'd want a bit more. Maybe that's because the whole film is really well made and you just want more of a good thing. But I think I would have liked more time with the characters on the ship, or more with Dave on the ship anyway.
So the concept, the ending.
Yeah. This would probably be the most divisive thing amongst people that love this film. But obviously there's going to be loads and loads and loads of interpretations. So if we don't cover everything...
Yeah. Can I say as well, like, I read a quote from Stanley Kubrick saying, you know, it's sort of supposed to be open to interpretation. There's not one meaning. There might be a more decisive meaning from the book this is based on, but Stanley Kubrick himself has stated that the film, he left a little bit more ambiguous because he wants interpretation from it.
In my opinion, this is all about the monolith is a metaphor for knowledge and progression. Yeah. And we see what humanity does with that progression and evolution. And I don't think it's just humanity, I think it's beings in general. Yeah. So for me, the monolith is an object created by extraterrestrials that enhances evolution. The film is playing now in the background as well, so the apes get knowledge from it, or like a higher form of knowledge. Intelligence, then you get kind of further distance travel.
Guidance.
Yeah, and then at the end, it's my interpretation that it's a gateway to interstellar travel. And expanding things even further.
For me, I think that the finale is the last stage of evolution, and with that, him becoming a fetus is like one with the universe, and that's what the aliens are, because you never see the aliens. Yeah, maybe the aliens are like some sort of concept or presence in the universe.
There's this unexplained sort of higher evolution. Life is kind of universal and so on. More of the observer. So
it's almost like the concept of energy. When you die, you don't die. Your energy just goes out into the universe.
I like that idea, but at the same time, I think this whole colour at the end with all these different long-lasting shots, I think that is knowledge. That is learning and growth and evolution into that new thing that you consider and think about.
Yeah, it almost kind of visualises the brain, neurons in the brain and signals and all of that jazz. How kind of represents the false evolution.
I don't think it's a false stage though. I think it's an actual stage of evolution, artificial intelligence creating that.
I don't think that, because the reason why I think it's a false one is because the movie kills Hal off, and then the main character takes that journey into the true next stage of evolution. Yeah, that's my feeling.
There's questions there, isn't there? Whether is he following orders? Is it real emotion that he's showing? And that's not even for this film. That's just in general in terms of the philosophy of life.
That's another reason why I think it's false, because he's saying I'm afraid, but he can't. He's not afraid. He's a machine.
If something is programmed to think to feel emotion or to show emotion, does it not start to believe them? I don't know. It's really intriguing.
The falsity for me comes from the actions of Hal and the fact that he lies and he's deceitful and he kills life rather than
it's almost like he himself is learning and evolving too, though.
Potentially, yeah.
That's what I think the question is. We just had a little 5-minute break and I read a little bit about how in the book it's more clear that Dave as a character is in some kind of extraterrestrial, not like zoo, but kind of place in which
they observe him.
Extraterrestrials observe him. And maybe that's what the idea is. Maybe in Arthur C. Clarke's book, he wanted it to be more like extraterrestrials experimenting with evolution and enhancing the growth of different civilizations. And we get the sense of that. Philosophically, there's so many interpretations that you can make. We quite clearly see it as an allegory to knowledge and evolution and human progression. But maybe you've got a different opinion.
Yeah, comment down below.
Let us know what it is if you do. Wow, man.
Other than that, what would you rate this film? Make sure you like this video if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of when we upload, and yeah,
we'll see you next
time. See you in the next video.